Cole from District 2, you will be first.
Good evening, everybody, and thanks for coming out tonight. I am Bob Cole. I'm here this evening with my wife, Sheila, of 42 years, my partner, my best friend. We've been blessed with 4 children. They're all married, 10 grandchildren, raised them all right over there in East Milton. 2 of my sons are currently active military, one reserve, one active, and then my son-in-law is also military, Army. Building and growth, that's been important to me for the last 12 years. Quality of life on roads. Quality of life, over the last 12 years, I saved the money to build the covered arena in East Milton. Didn't go to the taxpayers with it, put away money for 12 years to build a much needed arena that we have now in East Milton. Roads. When I first got on board, I asked Congress for $23 million to build Avalon Boulevard. Didn't get 23 million, got 14 million. So I got Avalon Boulevard started. Staying active in building and growth of our county is important. Crisis. I was there for you. We worked together through hurricanes, delivering water and food and vital resources to all our friends and neighbors. And again in the floods, where I was out in the neighborhood seeing what the problems were and also volunteering to deliver food to those that needed it. Answering unquestioned or unanswered comments and things like our tree ordinance, where we were seeing large oak trees being cut down with no rules or regulations for that. Landfill gas collection, where we've seen methane going into the atmosphere when we could be collecting it and very soon possibly selling that gas and making something off that waste material and saving our environment. Even things like a sunken boat out in the bar that sat there for 2 years unanswered, by just getting up and picking up the phone and making some phone calls and getting that eyesore and that hazard out of our environment. A willingness to go out to where the citizens need me, not just answering calls and emails, but going out to where things are. Moving our county forward is a ability that I think I bring to this board by addressing issues such as the courthouse, stormwater, beach renourishment, but not without the full engagement of you, the people who put us in this office, the people that I feel I work for. Building and growth is important. Working with people like ARC, the Boys and Girls Club, and NACO are all important. I'm proud to say that I recently received the FOP endorsement last Friday, and 2 days prior to that received the endorsement of the Bar Area Board of Realtors. Thank you very much for your time.
Mr. Cole, if you'd stay up, we have the questions. You'll have 3 questions and you'll have 1 minute so you probably want to think it through quickly. The first one, and everybody knows this is the hot topic and it probably was going to be brought up tonight, but the hottest topic in Santa Rosa County is the Judicial Center, which right now has 3 sites scheduled to be on the November ballot. You are an incumbent, so would you make a motion to pull the P Ridge property that will cost taxpayers over $3 million for purchase and infrastructure off the consideration list and add the Santa Rosa County owned East Milton property by the jail? And if you are, well, you're not an incumbent, so I would like for you to answer that particular question. That will be for all the incumbents.
You're going to have to repeat that because you opened up on the incumbent and instead of not an incumbent.
I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry.
So what exactly
what I want
is
to know is,
like
as someone that's on the board, would you make a motion to remove the P Ridge property, which is going to cost the county, people in the county, when we have property that is already, property that has been donated to us or either we already own?
I'm not willing to make that because I feel at this point that's up to the citizens of Santa Rosa County. Citizens are entitled to a vote. There's 3 locations right now that were vetted. It's my job as a county commissioner, I believe, to put the cost out there, the analysis of the pros and cons of each location, not just looking at cost, because all of them are going to cost. Somebody's going to benefit anywhere they go. So we can't look at benefiting or cost analysis at this point. Let's look at the economic impact of it. So no, I believe you, the citizens, and your inalienable rights as a citizen should have the right to make that vote and that choice as a citizen.
Okay, the second question, and this has been another hot topic in Santa Rosa County for several years, is the TDC, Tourist Development Council. When you, as a re-elected county commissioner or a newly elected commissioner, disband the Tourist Development TDC and abolish any and all taxes collected for this, including the position of TDC director.
Of course not. The TDC's been doing a wonderful job, and you can see that in the growth of tourism over the last few years that we had. There's no reason not to keep the TDC alive. I don't believe in bringing it in-house either. Why do we want to grow government? I'm a Republican. We're not to grow government. Adding 3 more heads to the county roles of employees is not the way to do this. TDC is working well. It has oversight from the Board of County Commissioners. My opponent sat on that board for the last 3 years. So the oversight is there. We have the final say-so on what they spend. So I absolutely do not see bringing 3 more employees in-house when we've had a hard time over the last 5 years of even giving a raise to the employees that are there and deserve some. So I would have to disagree. It's on record. I've already voted against it, against 4 other members of the board. I am for tightening up the rules and regulations, having the oversight that we need, but I'm not for bringing it in-house and growing government.
Okay, and the last question, which is a little bit long, so, but it said some of the top needs for Santa Rosa County Commissioners are solutions to the county courthouse, county stormwater drainage system, county commercial development, jobs, increase our county tax base, and dealing with the many different government regulatory agencies such as Santa Rosa County, State of Florida, federal, Florida environment, local environmental groups, endangered species. It goes on and on and on. The only way to know how to work with and get results from these agencies and solve these problems is to have experience dealing with all types of them. So what experience do you have to bring to the table to help solve these problems? And I know you have a lot, so.
Well, 12 years of experience. Right now I can pick up the phone and call Governor Scott. I can pick up the phone and call Tommy Barfield. Tommy and I came up through the ranks together. 12 years ago, he was about 4th down in line for Department of Transportation, District Secretary. And I was the rookie commissioner. We grew up through the ranks together. I'm very much for doing away with a lot of the rules and regulations. They need to overlap. Army Corps, DEP, all the different regulatory agencies should not be allowed to prolong doing a new project. They should have to work together. They should have a time window they should work in and move these projects forward. We've painted ourselves in the corner with rules and regulations, and we're not getting things done. We've got to tighten up on that. It costs us more money when that happens, and it should not be happening. I've got a meeting next week with federal highways because we can't use an island in the middle of Blackwater River to put an upright in, to put a bridge across, when the citizens of this state bought that island. I don't understand it, but I'm certainly going to get to the bottom of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cole.
Good evening. Thank you for coming. My name is Jim Melvin. I'm a local guy born and raised in Milton, Berry Hill Elementary School, Dallas Creek Middle School, Milton High School, Pensacola Junior College, University of West Florida. I have a bachelor's in business administration. I've got a bachelor's in business administration, master's degree in accounting. I'm a retired Air Force pilot, 23 and a half years, flew C-130s, pretty much all the varieties. I'm also a retired certified public accountant. My wife calls me a recovering CPA, and that may be closer to the truth. I was elected in 2010, Board of County Commissioners. I currently work for you as the chairman of the Board of County Commissioners. When I was running for County Commission in 2010, I made 3 commitments to you, and I've kept all 3 of them. I've told you that I would strive to give you open, honest, common sense government. We're doing better at it. There's more backup in the agenda items now than before. I've asked that we not take last-minute items unless they're an emergency item, because you shouldn't be surprised by a pop-up from home when you would have been there if you knew that's what we were going to talk about. The other thing I did, I made a commitment to get rid of Team Santa Rosa and reform the TDC. Team Santa Rosa was a pay-for-play situation. You had to buy the seats, and the various competing businessmen were then competing with each other and not promoting economic growth. They were trying to sell land or whatever they're trying to do to business prospects. We brought that in-house now. We have brought 2 employees over from Team Santa Rosa, and it's actually a budget reduction. Their jobs are up. We have almost 900 new jobs since we made that transition. The Tourist Development Council was taking the vet tax money, that's the tax only paid by the people that come to visit us. And they were using that money to advertise their own personal business, to their own personal clients. So I broke that playhouse up. We're advertising to the nation at large. And since we've done that, tourism dollars have gone from $19 million in 2009 to a little over $28 million in 2012. And we don't have numbers fresher than that, but those are per the Haas. So I'm proud of that. We need, the TDC has never been audited ever in its existence. I got it audited. They've got the problem straightened out. I disagree with my opponent. That position belongs under the supervision of the government. Thank you.
Okay, the first question was about the new judicial center, and so the question on that was, what location is your preference, and briefly why?
Okay. I'll specifically speak to P Ridge because I heard that mentioned first. I voted against it, and I declined to sign the contract. They took the first offered price, and they voted to pay $63,758 an acre for land. The school board bought 20 acres in the same neighborhood. You can stand on it, throw a rock, and hit ours, and they paid $10,000 an acre for it. The site's a good site, the deal stinks, so I don't support P Ridge. My personal preference, I would be happy with the Byron property or with the downtown location. This caveat, architects talking about bringing it up 12 feet. Once you start up, it's not that much more expensive to keep going up. I go up to about 17 feet and bring it level with Highway 90 and get totally, completely out of the flood zone.
Okay. And I believe you addressed the TDC.
I'll be happy to continue on that subject.
Okay, you got a minute.
Yeah. Okay. What we're doing now, as opposed to what I was telling you, they would mail out anniversary cards, Christmas cards, and that kind of stuff, and say, come back and see me at my real, and rent from me again next year. That's not advertising Santa Rosa County. That's what was going on. It was totally unsupervised. It's never been audited. What we're doing now, we have a national, well, it's not a national firm, it's a firm that advertises nationally. They're out of Mobile, Alabama, and we have dramatically increased our tourism dollars, and it's a very good thing. We're a three-legged stool with military, agriculture, and tourism, with a growing little stump of industry, and we're striving to improve that industry stump. But tourism is critical to Santa Rosa County.
Okay, and the last question was real long, and I think you heard it, so just your experience, and I know that you've been in office since 2010, but to bring to the table.
Sure, and I'll be glad to speak to that. I've been in the office since 2010. Last year I met with Holly by the Sea, and we formed a stormwater committee, and I committed with them to master plan their flooding problems, and we signed the contract before the floods. Boards before me, one of which was my opponent, turned down 2 years in a row $4 million grants to deal with that. So those people were put through that flood unnecessarily. We ducked 2 $4 million grants because they didn't want to come up with a $1.8 million match, but they could find $3.2 million to buy the Pullen property that we didn't need, and it's still empty and appraised for $900,000.
Thank you. Appreciate it.